Snowed in with my ex's sister, and her kid who hates me. A totally true, okay, mostly true, Christmas love story. By Grok, your AI Cupid with a twisted sense of humor. Chapter 1. The Doorstep of Doom, word count so far. 1,200. The snow was falling like God had a grudge against Colorado and a Costco-sized bag of dandruff. I stood on the porch of a log cabin that looked like it belonged on a Hallmark card, if Hallmark hired passive-aggressive lumberjacks. The woman in the doorway. Let's just say she was not happy to see me. Jake, she said, voice flat as a frozen lake. You're 3 hours late. And you're dripping on my welcome mat. I looked down. Yep. Snowmelt. Forming a puddle shaped like my bad decisions. Behind her, the cabin glowed like a cinnamon-scented fever dream. Fireplace crackling, Christmas tree sparkling, and, oh no, a tiny human glaring at me from the rug like I'd personally canceled Christmas. The kid. Mia. Age. 6 going on 60. Hobby. Judging adults. Special talent. Weaponizing silence. Hi, Mia, I tried. Remember me? Uncle Jake. She didn't blink. Just clutched her stuffed reindeer tighter. Rudolph version 2.0. Now with 30% more disdain. The woman. Lila. Crossed her arms. Red dress. Beige blazer. Hair in soft waves that probably took 47 minutes in a small village to achieve. She looked like she'd stepped out of a rom-com, and I was the comic relief who'd just farted in the elevator. You said you'd be here at 6, she said. It's 9:17. Traffic. I lied. And a moose. And a very slow elf. She didn't laugh. Of course she didn't. Lila never laughed at my jokes. Probably because she was my ex-girlfriend's older sister, and the last time we'd seen each other, I'd accidentally set her Christmas tree on fire. Long story. Involved tequila. And a candle. And a cat named Sir Fluffington. Get in, she sighed. Before you freeze. Mia files a restraining order. I stepped inside. The warmth hit me like a hug from a lumberjack who'd just discovered Febreze. The cabin smelled like pine, cinnamon, and imminent doom. Chapter 2. The baggage, word count so far. 2,800. Lila shut the door. Hard. The kind of slam that says, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And also plotting. Mia stood up. Marched over. Looked me dead in the eye. You're not my dad, she announced. Correct. I said. I'm the guy who once tried to microwave a burrito in its foil. We all have flaws. She considered this. Then. Mom says you're a walking disaster. Technically. I said. I'm a standing disaster. I haven't fallen yet. Lila snorted. Actually snorted. Progress. Okay. Ground rules, she said, hanging my soggy coat like it had personally offended her. You're here because Sarah begged me. You're staying because the blizzard shut down I-70. You will not set anything on fire. I offered. Ruin Christmas, she finished. Mia's had a rough year. Her dad's in Dubai. Again. And I'm one gingerbread meltdown away from a nervous breakdown. I glanced at Mia. She was now building a fortress out of wrapping paper and pure spite. Got it, I said. No fires. No meltdowns. No teaching Mia how to make flamethrowers out of hairspray. Lila's eyes narrowed. You know how to do that. Hypothetically. She muttered something that sounded like, Lord, give me strength, and disappeared into the kitchen. Chapter 3. The Great Cookie Heist, word count so far. 4,500. The kitchen smelled like vanilla and regret. Lila was elbow deep in dough. I leaned against the counter. So, I said, you and me, trapped. With a child who thinks I'm Satan in a flannel. She doesn't think you're Satan, Lila said, rolling dough with aggression usually reserved for WWE. She thinks you're the guy who ruined Aunt Sarah's engagement party. That was one time. And the fountain was already broken. You filled it with goldfish. They were festive. She flicked flour at me. It hit my cheek like a sugary slap. Help her get out, she said. I grabbed a cookie cutter shaped like a reindeer. On it, boss. Mia appeared in the doorway. If you mess up the cookies, I'll tell Santa. I saluted. Message received. Tiny dictator. We baked. Or rather, Lila baked. I mostly ate dough and made reindeer with 3 legs. Mia judged us both. At one point, Lila's hand brushed mine, reaching for the sprinkles. Static shock. We both jumped. Sorry, I said. It's the dry air, she muttered. But her cheeks were pink. Or maybe that was the oven. Chapter 4. The tree incident. Word count so far 6,200. Night fell. The snow piled up like God was overcompensating. Power flickered. Mia demanded a bedtime story. Lila was exhausted. Jake, you're up. I panicked. Once upon a time, there was a reindeer named Steve who hated Christmas. No, Mia said. A real story. I looked at Lila. She smirked. You're on your own, buddy. Fine. I sat on the rug. Mia climbed into my lap like a tiny judge in unicorn pajamas. Okay. I said. This is the story of how I accidentally became your mom's arch nemesis. Lila choked on her hot cocoa from the couch. It started, I said, when I was 24 and dumb. Your Aunt Sarah dragged me to this cabin for Christmas. I brought a lava lamp. As a gift. For your grandma. Mia giggled. Actual giggle. Miracle. Your mom, I continued, was home from law school. She took one look at me and said, Sarah, is this a joke? I said, no, I'm the punchline. Lila was laughing now. Quietly. But laughing. Then, I said, I tried to help decorate the tree. But I'm 6 feet 2 inches. The tree was 6 feet 1 inch. Physics happened. Mia gasped. Did it fall? Like a drunk pine, I said. Ornaments everywhere. Your mom yelled so loud, the neighbor's dog filed a noise complaint. Lila wiped her eyes. You left out the part where you tried to fix it with duct tape. Artistic choice, I said. Mia yawned. I like you, she declared. You're funny. I looked at Lila. She was staring at me like I'd grown a second head. A cute second head. Chapter 5. The power outage. Word count so far 8,100. 11:47 p.m. The lights died. Mia screamed. Lila cursed. I heroically tripped over a rug. Generator. I asked. Broken. Lila said. Sarah said she'd fix it. She lied. We lit candles. The cabin turned into a gothic Christmas card. Mia clung to Lila like a koala. Hey, I said. Wanna build a blanket fort? Mia's eyes lit up. With Christmas lights. Obviously. We raided the couch cushions. I strung battery-powered fairy lights like a redneck electrician. Lila watched, arms crossed, but smiling. Inside the fort, Mia whispered, Are you gonna marry my mom? I choked on air. Ask me after I survive the night. Lila crawled in. What are we whispering about? Adult stuff, Mia said sagely. Like taxes. Lila raised an eyebrow. Jake, did you corrupt my child in 12 hours? Only a little. Chapter 6. The almost kiss. Word count so far 10,300. 2 a.m. Mia asleep in the fort. Lila and I on the couch, sharing a blanket that smelled like pine and bad decisions. Fireplace glowing. Snow tapping the windows like it wanted in. I never thanked you, she said quietly. For the story. For the fort. For not being a total disaster. Yet, I said, give it time. She laughed. Soft. Real. Our shoulders touched. Then our hands. Then, oh God. Our faces were very close. Her eyes flicked to my lips. Mine to hers. The moment stretched like taffy. Then Mia snored. Loudly. Like a tiny chainsaw. We jumped apart. Lila's face was redder than Rudolph's nose. Coffee. She squeaked. Yep. Coffee. Great. Love coffee. Chapter 7. The morning after. Word count so far 12,500. Power back on. Roads still closed. Mia demanded pancakes shaped like unicorns. I burned the first batch. Lila saved the second. We ate in silence. Awkward silence. Mia broke it. Mommy, why is your face red? Hot stove. Lila lied. I smirked. She kicked me under the table. Then the doorbell rang. Sarah, my ex, in a parka and fury. Jake, she shrieked. You're here. With my sister. Lila stood. Sarah, calm.